So now in continuing after we've done all that, we're back into model space. I'm back in my plan, and what I can do is I can do Control P again to call up my plotter manager, and you'll see that everything is blank, okay? Rather than setting it up again, under page setup, now that we set it up once, okay, every time that we've started working in this file, it will save our previous plot in the settings for that. So under name, you'll see that previous plot is now added, and it'll change to all the settings that we had before, and we have a preview, and we can continue, and you can see that now it's starting to shape up. Now here, under your CTB settings, okay, just keep in mind that right now if I expand this and I go into, so if I go to cancel, and if I go into my styles manager, okay, it's not actually in that list, okay? But what we need to do is we always need to have it in this list no matter what. I don't know why it's not showing up now, but typically what happens is that if it is missing, if it wasn't a file before, especially if you're switching computers, if it wasn't a file before and now it's not, it'll say in parentheses missing after it, okay? So what you need to do, and we can act as though, you know, I'm coming to a new computer and it doesn't have my my CTB file in there, and I have to reload it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize my AutoCAD. Okay, this is a baby picture of my dog. And I'm going to find my CTB file, and I'm going to, you know, I can change it if I need to. So for example, if I need to change that color, the color 7 or white, okay, but I already did that. I'm going to save and close, and then what I'm going to do is rather than cutting and pasting it in, I'm going to copy it, and again open up my AutoCAD, type in Styles Manager, and then I'm going to paste it in, okay? And again, it's a copy, it's not the original, and always keep the most up-to-date within the Styles Manager, so that now I can close it out, I can go back to my plot dialog, I can go to previous plot, and you know, again, just for good measure, I always just do a preview. You can see that the lines are thicker now from adding that white pen line, or the line weight for that pen, and you can see the differentiation between the doors that we have, okay? And I can hit escape, and I can go to OK, and again, I can continue, and it'll save it as a PDF, okay? And then, you know, that file you can save and you can name it as we need to, and you can submit that for the homework. Now, one of the things that I want to show you is that if you do go to the preview, okay, I'm not going to go through the full printing because I don't want it to infect my other version of AutoCAD that's on this computer, but you'll see that especially here, okay, I'm trying to get in as tight as I can, these gray lines. So one of your layers, okay, for the homework and for your CTB file is going to have a screened layer. And basically what that means is that if I escape out of this, and if I escape out of this, and I go back to my CTB file, okay, it is going to have a screened layer. So that is going to be your color 9, which is typically your lightest line when you start to work with line weights and colors, and we're going to make that black. And we're going to use a screening of 50%, so I can select that and type in 50, and then do a save and close. Now what you'll find is that I don't have that in any of these lines here, okay, so you're not going to see the effect of it, but you'll see that when I go back into, and I'm just going to do a previous plot and do a preview, but if I go back into my last plot, you'll see that these gray lines, okay, are on top of my black lines. And essentially, that's an issue that you're going to have not only with screened lines, okay, because, you know, if everything's black, it doesn't really matter what's on top of what. You know, it's all going to get itself sorted out. But when you start to work with screen lines, and if you start to work with colors, okay, as I said, if you don't have a color that's associated with a black pen, and it says use object color, it's going to print out to what that color is. So if you have that, what you have to look out for is basically the draw order of those objects, okay? And again, it's not like Photoshop where we can just change where it is in the layer list. Really, you know, AutoCAD just kind of throws objects on top of each other. So if we do something like that, Okay, and if we have something like that where we need to change it, okay, the command to actually send something to the back. So if I want to send these stairs, okay, to the back, if, for example, if they are a gray color, okay, they will be black eventually with my CTB file if I finish it. But in order to alleviate that problem, no matter what it is, okay, if it's in another example, if I type in draw order, what that does is allows me to select objects, okay, hit enter, and either I bring them above, under specific objects, or if I bring them in front, or if I bring them to the back. Okay, so that now if I do Control P for plot, if I go to my previous plot, and if I preview and go to continue, now you'll see that they don't go above my black line. So if you ever run into that problem, all you have to do is use that draw order tool, and that will change the orders of things. But you might have, you might find that you actually have to do it again and again. Okay, sometimes it's not a permanent thing, and you'll find that as you go through, things do end up on others, even though you may have changed it. But that's essentially the key behind that draw order.